Welcome back. For a lot of us, phones and other devices, they play a big role in our lives. But it's easy for those relationships with technology to get out of hand. Psychology professor at Bethel University, Dr. Cherise Coro. She joins us now with some tips on cutting down screen time. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, my first question right out of the gate is screen time universally bad for you?
No, I wouldn't cut it that way, right? There's a lot of really great ways to use screens, right? So there's a lot of really great educational content out there for kids. There's things like Duolingo, there's FaceTime, right, which allows us to connect with people at a distance. There's a lot of really good stuff out there.
Yeah, it's like saying reading is bad. And it's like, no, but so, you're reading a book on your phone.
Yeah, the blanket statement doesn't work.
Okay, but then again, there are entertainment. There's what they call doom scrolling on social media, where you're just constantly intrigued for various reasons. How does one, A, recognize if it's unhealthy? We'll start there.
Yeah. So I think it's really important to distinguish between using a lot of screens and unhealthy use. Just because you're using a lot of screen time doesn't necessarily mean that you have a problem. But I do think there's some really good things that you can pay attention to. So for example, there's a lot of really great metrics in your phone that tell you how many times you're picking up your phone in a day, how much time you're spending on your phone.
Just right in settings, usage.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
right there in your settings. Another thing that you can pay attention to is, have you been trying to stop using your screens and it hasn't worked out, right? That's a sign that both you think it's interfering in your life and it's problematic for you to try and stop. So these are things to pay attention to.
Yeah, and I think that's a good look in the mirror moment. How do you recommend stopping or slowing it?
Yeah, I think there's great things that people can do to try to manage their screen time. So I talk about this with my Bethel students all the time. People are very mindful of this, which is great. But once again, right there in your phone settings, you have tools that you can use to regulate your screen time. So limiting your screen time, you have tools to basically put your phone into like down mode at a certain hour, things like that. So those are great things to do. Another thing that you can do is just set some guidelines around use in your home. So having screen-free zones like the bedroom, the kitchen table, prevent screens from interfering with things like sleeping and spending time with others.
So I'll share what our rule is at the house, right? We got a 12, 10, and 8-year-old. 12-year-old has a phone. The rule is after 8 p.m., you have to be in the living room if you're going to be on your phone. After 9 p.m., you don't get it.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah.
I heard this from somebody else on social media, nonetheless.
No, that's really great. I mean, one thing that we know that social media has an impact on is sleep, right? It's really engaging, so it leads us to stay up later because we want to keep going with it. But also the light of the screen can impact our circadian rhythms a little bit and our ability to sleep well. So turning off those phones about an hour before bedtime is a great rule.
What else might be beneficial to you psychologically for releasing the phone? Do you see more peace? Do you get more happiness, more natural dopamine? Like what? I mean, is the phone like cigarettes in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, I think that when we're spending less time on our phones, especially when we're using it in more unhealthy kinds of ways, we might find that we're getting better sleep, we're sleeping more, we're spending more time like engaging socially with other people, and we know that those two things are really powerful shapers of our well-being.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, what is wrong with being constantly entertained or the need to be constantly entertained?
Yeah, I mean, boredom isn't a bad thing. Boredom can be a really good thing. Out of boredom comes creativity. So I do think that there's something to say with just being like, hey, I don't really have anything to do right now, and just like sitting in it. Yeah.
Well, great. Doctor, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think, you know how people do like dry January?
Sure,
Maybe there should be like a no phone February.
Yeah, maybe.
But our jobs probably wouldn't really like that, would they?
Probably not.
It's our computer as well. Yeah.
Right.
Well, thank you for the tips. Appreciate the conversation. I wish we could talk for hours on this. We're going to post all of Dr. Coro's tips on care11.com for you. And again, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.